You are watching a master at work.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Solo TV 84. I'm your gracious host, Sullivan Jones, behind the camera again. And we got special guest in the flesh, Matt Alonso, director, filmmaker, advocate for mental health. Anything else I missed, Matt? Holding up a song.
But see, but the thing about women and the thing about Red Pill is that you also have to remember that women are a tribal, the tribal sex, if you will. They always have to feel a part of the clan, because back in way different time, they had to be a part of the clan, because if they weren't, then they would be exiled. So they naturally have to go with the flow. That's what even makes me more upset, is that those are the role models, because women are so quick to agree and go with it. But for me, none of the women that I hang out with like that record. I just choose to hang out with people who value the things that I do. So you also have to be aware of your circle, and sometimes you have to X people out. Not necessarily because they listen to a song, but because of their morals and values and what they stand on. But to be honest, though, all girls are just so wish-washy that they don't know what they're talking about. They think they do, but if they really knew about feminism, and they really truly believed in what it was talking about, and they actually looked at the facts, because it contradicts their life every step of the way. A lot of women that I date that are older women, if I ever hang out with older women, I would say 50% of them don't even know that they can't have babies anymore. I'm like, what are you talking about? No one ever told you? Did you guys talk about this in sex ed and stuff? They're like, no, I can still have a kid. I'm like, yeah, you might be able to, but you're 35, 37, your chances are 10%. And they look at me like they've seen a ghost. And that shocks me, because feminism teaches them to go do all these things and get all these accolations, get all these awards and accolades, and they end up just miserable. And it blows me away. And what women don't do is look at why they're looking up to a person. They just see a bunch of likes or a bunch of attention, and they say, I want to be like that woman because of the attention she's getting. They don't say, oh, I want to be like this woman because of who she is. And so that's the confusion. That's the part that
Don DeMarco.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like some guys don't do that either, but those guys, kind of fade out pretty quickly. And the men who are able to be successful in life follow and look up to people who stand on their own too, and have morals and values, and regardless of their likes or other things. And so women just follow attention.
You don't have to mention any names. Certain other artists as well, where you won't work with them because of maybe their message might be. I mean, when you look at other, for example, I guess what I'm trying to say is, when you're working with an artist or you're doing something, a video, don't you leave it out whether you think, okay, I rock with this artist or not, because you're not always gonna work for everybody you like.
Yeah, it's not about if I like them or not.
Okay.
That's the thing. It's if I liked them, I'd only be shooting R&B videos like Donnell Jones. People, artists that people are not even listening to anymore. But
I remember Donnell Jones.
Oh yeah, he's still the dude. But no, but for me, there's a couple people who just really stick out, which have a huge following, and I just don't agree with what's going on. Now, is it my responsibility to figure out who I agree with and things like that? No, but if I have such a strong opinion about something, then that feeling inside my gut tells me whether or not I should pursue certain things or not. And for me, but I'm not worried about good looks. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and by good looks, you know what I mean.
Of course,
in the resume or something like that.
Yeah, of course. But for me, it's like I said, I have to sleep at night, So,
right.
Not of all the artists I've shot with, have I agreed with their messaging? And I don't think any of them have been that polarizing. So, I don't think it was, that type of choice to be made at that point. So, I don't dislike anybody for doing a job. You know what I mean? It's their choice, and it doesn't interfere with our relationship.
Right, definitely. So, one of the things we've talked about in the past before, right? And I love the fact that now we don't have to look at each other in the, webcam. I can see you in the flesh, I got you in the flesh. A lot of guys, you've brought this up where, a lot of guys are now talking about, well, women aren't choosing us because of height, or women are wanting money, this and that. And you kind of like, what the heck is going on, man? You need just game, this and that. But wouldn't you agree with those guys that a lot of modern women are not really long-term or wifey material quality-wise?
So I feel like there's two questions there.
Right.
One, are women after money, height, status,
Right.
things like that?
Right.
And then two, are they long-term? Are
Modern women quality?
Well, if a woman is after those things, no, she's not going to be. If a woman is really, adamant about having certain statistics, then she's not going to be long-term, even if you do fit those statistics, because one day you may not. One day you may be out of, fall short of a category that she, needs you to excel in. And so at that point, you are no longer the man that you once were yesterday. And so that type of woman, although I have to say that, there's no guarantee that the other women who don't have these certain boxes that you need to check won't see you that way either, but your chances are less likely with those type than they are with the ones who only want status, cars, things like that. And you got to remember, those type of women, there's not much there besides the looks, so
Matt, I think, and I'm glad you bring that up, and I know I'm cutting you off.
No worries.
But I think that's the part is you have a lot of men who are looking at these like 9s or 10s. I don't, whatever. I think ratings are overrated because an LA 9 is not gonna be a Minnesota 9. She might be a Minnesota 15, right?
and it's also personal taste.
Right, exactly. But I think that a lot of men, and I know I'm generalizing here, but they have a certain look that they're going for, maybe. Or
Not all men.
the Instagram,
Yeah, for me that disgusts me. Like for me,
Oh, come on, man. You don't like a nice bubble on a
No.
slim, thick
No.
woman? Slim, thick.
you gotta remember, I've been shooting music videos for 13 years. So I've been a part of this scene for that long, and I've never dated any of those women who are on sets shaking their ass, who are the ones that you guys are talking about, because although some of them, I won't say all of them, some of them were cool and had some brains, but a lot of them, there was just nothing upstairs. And so what do you do with someone like that, it's only fun for so long. And once you're around them and you kind of lose that, this like,
The getting gassed by them?
yeah, like then there's really, you don't,
You realize they're just women.
well, yeah, of course. I mean, of course. And then you see them, like a lot of women, for me in particular, I see women show up to set, and sometimes we have them come, just bare, not with makeup, not with hair, because we have our own team do that, because we want to have them styled and done up a certain way. So you see them at their truest form, and yes, they're still beautiful, but they're not what other people think they may be, which is fine. There's nothing
Makeup
wrong.
is witchcraft.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that for me, but I don't know. And then when you're talking to them and there's not much there, or it's just this weird personality. For me, it's like, why would I want to be around this much longer than I have to? So there's no chase for me. I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying, and some of them could had a bad day that day. Some of them could have a boyfriend who's right on set or whatever the case may be, and that's not for me to decide. But for me, one of my biggest factors when I look at women, and I guess my ratings, is how much attention does she need. So if she's out there with a bubble and a slim thick, and she's like posting pictures of herself half naked or whatever all the time, nothing wrong with that. Do your thing, girl, all good. But you need so much attention that there's not one man in the world that can give you all that. And I don't even want to try, because the way that I work and the way that most men are on their grind, you're not going to have time to always give attention to your woman or your girlfriend. Yeah. So you're not going to. So then you don't want a girl who you have to pretty much not even wonder, pretty much know that if you're not giving her attention, she's getting it elsewhere. So that's one of the biggest factors when I look at women. So any woman who's like, I guess, a 10 or whatever, but because there's a lot of 10s who are not on Instagram like that. There's girls who are beautiful who have 67 followers. Now I would much rather prefer that woman over a woman who has 67,000 followers, and you know what I'm saying? And because they're always going to think in their mind they have options because they're getting DMs, and you're just up against a bunch of obstacles and things that you don't even need to be worrying about if you're on your purpose and you're really like focused on your career or pursuing excellence and getting better, and it just doesn't fit, and so I don't have any so for me, just knowing that, I don't look at them in the same light that maybe some others do.
Shout out to Matt Alonso for doing the interview, and thank you for watching. If you want to watch the whole interview, it's at www.patreon.com/solotv84. That's www.patreon.com/solotv84. Me and Matt go in depth more about what's going on during the COVID era, politics, modern society, women, of course, among other topics. So go ahead and check it out, and I'm out. Peace.
Dom DeMarco.